Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in this market or to just learn from the market. But first, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, y'all, if you could please like, share, subscribe. You know, we learn and we grow together. Now, with that being said, let's get started. So the first one on the list today is AI. It is an inside day candle. Normally I look at those just to help build a watch list and to kind of let us know where we could possibly have trouble. I mean, you know, if it breaks through this level, then this is the possible target, right? So again, AI is on that list as an inside day candle. If we should break above $10.83 today for AI, the upside target is $10.94. Now to the downside, under $10.25 downside target today, $10.13. AI closed at $10.60, and let's go see how much it normally moves on a daily basis. Only 89 cents. So again, it moves 89 cents in either direction. So if AI is something that you trade today, again, it is an inside day candle. So let's go look at AMD today, just to see where we are. AMD closed at $200.12, right? So it looks like we've bounced off of this level of support. Y'all see that is where the ATR trailing stop is. We bounced from there only to come up to this level, have a little bit of trouble. This level have a little bit of trouble. So where are the trouble places as of right now? $200.51. We will need to break that level again to possibly have trouble at that $200.03. And y'all see it's right where that ATR trailing stop is, right? Really close, right? So breaking that level, meaning we've broken through a few layers of resistance for AMD, $200.03. Now breaking that, 202.90. Should we break that 202.90, we could possibly have trouble again around the 203.79, which is right close to that 203.49, the 200 EMA as of now. However, breaking that for AMD, possibly have trouble again, 204.88, again at 206.20. 207.67. Those are possible areas of resistance. Now back to the downside. Y'all see price was standing or gathering, coming back to this support area, 199.07. Breaking that level brings us back to, I need to say something stopped us here, right? Something stopped us at the 198.66. So breaking that for AMD today, 197.53. And should we break that 196.64 and breaking that today, 195.67, and should we break that 193.82? So those are possible areas of support and resistance for AMD, and let me say, not financial advice, right? So if we are now looking at NVIDIA, we closed at 187.98. It too is bouncing off of that ATR trailing stop, only to have a little bit of trouble here at that 187.48. If you're using the moving averages, we see here price gathered in this area. Let's see if we can mark that here. Price gathered, and I try to see how many times it can actually kind of touch that line. So price kind of gathered somewhere around this area here. So definitely need to watch that, say 187.94. So if we get back above that, we can still have trouble 197.84 or 197.90. Let me rephrase that, 187.94, again 188.13, up to the 188.43. Those are going to be some, resistance areas for NVIDIA. Breaking that, we could possibly have trouble again at the 188.92 and breaking that 189.15. Now breaking that 189.15 is really close to a 189.28. So this could be a strong area of resistance. And as you can see, we got rejected here and came back down. Can we get rejected again and break through, or come back to the downside? That's something to think about. Again, in my opinion, that could be strong area of resistance. Now breaking that level for NVIDIA today, that 189, let's see, 189.28, we could possibly have trouble again, 189.60, and again 190.06. So if you're trading NVIDIA to the upside, those are possible areas of resistance. Now let's look to the downside. Say we break under, something keeps holding us up at this area here. Price was here, and body almost there. candles here. So that's something I need to very much pay close attention to for NVIDIA. Under 187.14 or 187.11, we could very well come back to the 186.85. That is where our 200 EMA is, and a level that I have marked. I just love to see that. Breaking that, we could very well come back to 186.23, and breaking that level 185.87, 185.60, again at 185.16. Breaking that 185.16, 185, not far away. So this could be a strong area here for NVIDIA, not financial advice. Breaking that 184.57. And breaking that level 184.48, y'all. Again, I look at support and resistance on a much smaller scale. Why? Because when I'm in the trade, I kind of want to know where my possible trouble places could be, right? So yeah, again, not financial advice. So we're looking at Meta, and you see Meta is coming back to a place that we have marked as a support area. I love to see that. 638.62. We closed at 643.22. Only to come back down to this area here, 638.62. Trouble places back to the upside for Meta today. 639.97, 640.42, 641.47, 641.98, 642.60, and again here at 643.20. So those could be trouble places back to the upside. However, breaking that, I'm going to mark this. Why? Because something stopped us here, and here for Meta. So I need to watch that 643.98. Breaking that for Meta, we could very well come back to 644.99, 645.32, and again 645.83. And y'all see the 200 EMA as of right now is around the 646.13. So those are possible areas of resistance for Meta. Now back to the downside. Let's say we break under the 638.23. We could very well come back to 637.70, and breaking that, I'm going to mark this level here, or something held us up or stopped us here at the 636.79. Breaking that for Meta, we could very well come back to 635.43, and should we break that, 634.64. Breaking that level, 633.80, and should we break that for Meta today, 632.74. So those are possible areas of support and resistance. I say it often, not financial advice. Mark your levels once it goes against your reason for getting in the trade. Get out, right? So we are looking at the SPY. We closed at 686.29. We've made a pre-market low somewhere around the 683.75, right? Only to come up, get rejected here at 685.21. I had that level marked, which is right where our 200 EMA is as of right now. We see that right there. So where are the trouble places for the SPY today? We would need to get back above, let's say, the 685.21, 685.58, 685.88, 686.08, 686.31, and 686.51. That's in few areas of resistance for the SPY. However, breaking those levels, we could very well come back to 686.93, 687.23, 687.57, and 688.15. Breaking that, 688.91. So those are possible areas of resistance for the SPY today. Now back to the downside, breaking under the 683.75. We can come back to 683.23 all the way down to the 682.73. Those are a few areas of support for the SPY. So again, at 683.23, 682.96, and 682.73, those are support areas. Breaking those levels, however, brings us back to 682.12. Should we break that, 681.78, and breaking that, 681.35. So those are possible areas of support for the SPY. However, breaking that level brings us back to somewhere around the 680.37. Keep in mind, we could very well get stopped out in this area here. I say it so often, y'all, in this market, anything is possible, right? So mark your levels. Once it goes against your why, get out, right? So we are now looking at Tesla, and I say it so often, Tesla just does what Tesla does, right? We closed at 411.32, only to come down to this level here 407.10 was a support area for us, but y'all see where the body of those candles are going, right? Somewhere around this area. Let's say 407.92. I need to remove that. Yes. Okay, so where are the trouble places for Tesla? We would need to get back above, let's say this level here, around the 408.71. Possibly have trouble again, 409.03. Should we break that for Tesla? 410.01 and breaking that 410.58. Now, breaking that 410.58, we could very well come back to around where the ATR trail and stop and a level that I have marked for 11.43. Should we break that 412 area, in my opinion, could be a very strong area of support. It was support, now resistance. It could be a very strong area of resistance, in my opinion, right? Not financial advice. However, breaking that 412 area, we could very well have trouble again around 412.97. And should we break that, y'all see the 200 EMA as of now is right at a level that we have marked at the 413.77. I love to see that, y'all. Just support and resistance, right? So those are possible areas of resistance for Tesla back to the upside. Right now, let's look to the downside for Tesla, because I say it often, y'all, in this market, anything is possible, right? So under the 407.10 area for Tesla, we can come back to 406.57. Breaking that brings us back to the 404.80. I just remembered that, but keep in mind, we could very well get stopped out anywhere in this area here. So breaking the 404.80, we can come back to 403.68. Breaking the 403.68 for Tesla, 402.54. Should we break that? 402.02 and 401.32. Breaking the 401.32, $400.56. And should we break that, the next level I have is around the 398.09. So should we break that $400.56, we could come back to the 398.09 and find support, or we could very well get stopped out in this area here. I say it so often, in this market, anything is possible, right? So breaking that 398.09 for Tesla, we could very well come back to 397.16 and all the way down here to 394.96. So if Tesla is something that you trade, y'all, I said so often, trade carefully, mark your levels. Once it goes against your reason for getting in the trade, get out, make sure you have the discipline to get out. So again, I hope that everyone have a very profitable day, a very productive day. So this is what I see when I look at the market, and I say it so often, there's so many different ways to trade the market, and what's challenging is trying to figure out the strategy that works best for you and for you to have the discipline again to execute your plans, right? So again, I hope that everyone have an amazing day today. If you could please again like, share, and subscribe, y'all. I said often, we learn and we grow together. So until next time, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.